Salamu dong nyaka ding'iew.
Mimi nasema kwenye hoja ni.
Salamu nyaka dong ng'iew.
To buku ini kok.
Karatas dong nika. O buku be nyaka ng'iew.
Kertas maber. Mose. Uno gi hotel maro ko to chai maro yade.
Un dhi udware utimo oda.
Kae.
Hotel nika.
Waje ni Mose.
Ok gine no kutim na scanning e gine ne mara ni.
Aonge printer.
Wada photocopy nagi.
Mashine okethre koro nyaka los. Koro idhi ragwe?
Imasewu.
Sawa sawa.
Koro chiwona.
Dunguru wanere tich ariyo.
Sare. Mambo ni ano konyalo sana.
Okonyal wawe.
Wawe asante.
Okonyal.
Okonyalo.
Nyaka ng'iew manyien.
Aya wanere tich ariyo.
Okay.
Koro kamano.
Sawa sawa.
Ba MCA.
Ionge basa.
Wewe MCA, mama nana kakase.
Moses. Ionge basa.
MCA.
Basa go modo waonge go.
Ele ka kinengo ikacha. Angama timu lele kanyo.
Tado wuoyo gi jopiny matin.
Wuoyo gi jopiny wando ka bologi be nyana. Yera. Amendo ko ndoko lao na michu. Ame wadande uniform ne dwaro skirt mara tengo.
Yes, a very good afternoon from wherever you are. This is another time that we are having this kind of session. And yesterday we had an election in Uganda. And this is the question. Are the elections or is the elections in Uganda free, fair, credible, and from verifiable source? So yesterday, Bobi Wine was taking a lead with 54%, while Museveni was trailing at 46%, if I'm correct. If I'm wrong, you can also put in there. But we had an election yesterday in Uganda, where Bobi Wine was leading as early as yesterday. But waking up today, Museveni, was taking the lead with 76%, if I'm not wrong. But that is not what I want us to focus on. I want us to focus on whether the Ugandan election was rigged. Was Bobi Wine rigged in that particular kind of election? Because earlier on yesterday, the BVR kits could not function well. Of course, the internet had been cut by President Museveni, and it is an issue that sparked public outrage, and that one led to Ugandans failing to show up and vote. So there was low voter turnout in Uganda. That is what I want us to focus on. Did Museveni rig the elections? Museveni has been in the office as president of Uganda since 1986. And yesterday was another term where Museveni was squaring out with Bobi Wine. And that is what I want us to focus on. Did Museveni rig Bobi Wine? Okay. Let me know where you are watching this live from. Of course, I've been having many fans from New Zealand, India, America, and name them. Let me know where you are watching this live from. Once again, good afternoon from wherever you are. And we are dissecting whatever is happening in Uganda. I can see Fizuli Fizuli plus many others. Good afternoon from wherever you are watching. Bad day. Bad day. This is what is just happening. Bad day. As for Museveni. Bad day for Museveni. Is it a bad day or good day for Museveni? Or a bad day for Bobi Wine? We saw Ugandans casting their ballots, and of course, we did yesterday, that is, Bobi Wine too casted his vote yesterday. And did the Ugandan election, or did Museveni rig that kind of election? Azerbaijan. So you live in Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan is in Europe or Asia. You can also tell us. You can also tell us. What can Kenya borrow from Uganda? Or what can Uganda borrow from Kenya? Because the chair of the Electoral Commission of Uganda said that his life was in danger. The chairman of the Electoral Commission of Uganda said that he announced, or is under pressure to announce the results. So somehow, I don't know, but somehow the results of the presidential election in Uganda have been doctored because the chair of the Electoral Commission confirmed so. Are you from Africa? Yes, I'm from Africa, Nairobi. I'm from Africa. Do you know Nairobi? I'm from Africa. Okay. So, of course, Algeria out of the Cup of Nations. Yes, Algeria is out. We now remain with Senegal and probably Morocco. That is there. So how did Museveni came and overtake Bobi Wine? How did Museveni came and again overtake Bobi Wine? Because by yesterday, I think in the night, Bobi Wine was leading with a very wide margin. Yes, Africa is a good continent. So Museveni takes an early lead with 76% of Ugandans voting for him. Morocco wins Senegal. I bet too that way, but I think Senegal is also hard not to crack. So Museveni is now leading with 76%. But what has now making many of us to wonder is, how did Museveni overtake Bobi Wine? How did Museveni overtake Bobi Wine? Majority of the, provinces, Bobi Wine was taking an early lead. But what does the Ugandan election mean to Africa? What does the Ugandan election mean to Africa? What does the Ugandan election mean to Africa? Kenya is going to the polls next year, 2027. What does the Ugandan election mean? For the first time, Ugandans used the electronic voting system where they use the BVR kits, you place your hand and then your fingers and whatever are scanned, and that is how you vote. But what can Africa borrow from the Ugandan election? Number one, Uganda is not democratic. Morocco lose Africa. Number one, Uganda is not democratic. When we talk of democracy, I don't think Uganda is democratic. Why would Museveni shut down internet? Why did Museveni have to shut down internet? So Uganda is not democratic. That is number one. Number two, Uganda should allow democracy to prevail. They should put term limits like Kenya, so that we find ourselves in a situation where there is verifiability of results. Okay, Turkey, I can see you over there. Thank you so much. From Turkey, thank you so much. Turkey is well represented. Okay.
39.
Turkey is well represented.
32.
And so
08.
it seems Bobi Wine was rigged, or Bobi Wine has been rigged, because the president of Uganda controls everything, controls the media, controls the electoral commission, controls the military, controls the police. Everybody in Uganda is under the control of yes. the president of Uganda controls everything, controls the media, controls the military, controls the police, controls the electoral commission, controls everybody. And that is why maybe Bobi Wine has been rigged. Maybe Bobi Wine has been rigged because there is massive voter irregularities. There is massive voter irregularities. So we are still hoping that democracy will prevail and reign Uganda. Another story that we are having now is that comedian Yoweri Kumundi has announced his bid to go for a political seat. Comedian Yoweri Kumundi has announced his bid to go Fizula Medov. I do see you there, 23,456. I don't know what's that, but news justin is that comedian Yoweri Kumundi has announced his presidential bid for 2027. That is none other than the Langata constituency, which is now headed by Felix Oduor, alias Jalango. So comedian Yoweri Kumundi has announced his bid and he has said that you have subscribed. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the subscription. Thank you so much. I can see Abdunur Ken. Thank you so much for joining. And please, Sema, where you are watching us from, just tell us where you are watching from so that we can also greet where you reside and where you live, and it becomes very beautiful. I can see Tugaya, thank you so much. How are you doing? Good afternoon from wherever you are. I'm just saying that Yoweri Kumundi has declared his bid to Oster Langata MP Felix Oduor alias Jalango. And comedian Yoweri Kumundi has got a foundation, or rather a rescue team, which is called Sisi Kwa Sisi. And he normally uses Sisi Kwa Sisi to uplift the Leningrad, okay? To uplift the vulnerable in Kenya. So that is news just in. Yoweri Kumundi is in the race, and I think it is now Yoweri Kumundi, Winnie Odinga, and Jalango. They have all announced that they are going. Jalango is going to defend his seat. Yoweri Kumundi is also going to vie, and also Winnie Odinga is also going to be part of the candidates or contenders for the Langata parliamentary seat come 2027. So we expect a lot of duel in the Langata Soviet, in the Langata parliamentary or Langata constituency. So we have very powerful leaders, young leaders, Yoweri Kumundi, Winnie Odinga, and the incumbent Felix Oduor. Yes, I can see you are happy.
Calculate a lot table for new cities.
Yes, allow me to look at the news, today's newspaper. Allow me to look at today's newspaper, and so that we can also dig more on the current happenings across the country. Let me start with the Standard. Let me start with the Standard, where I want us to talk about or look at things that are now happening. This is at breaking again. Bobi Wine under house arrest, party says. So Bobi Wine has again been put under house detention by none other than Yoweri Museveni. So this election Bobi Wine won, and I want to say so. This election Bobi Wine won the Ugandan election, and is now been put under house arrest. So Uganda is not a country. Uganda is a banana republic. Uganda is not a country. Uganda is a banana republic which is being led by dictator Yoweri Museveni. Let's look at another thing that is in the Standard that is now causing jitters. Of course, there are protests in Minnesota, and Donald Trump has threatened to deploy the army, okay, in Minnesota. So that is it. Bombshell, that is this is also in the Standard. Bombshell inside NYS 6.2 billion scandal. Inside NYS 6.2 billion scandal. NYS probe shows suppliers false claims of 6.2 billion shillings. Hello, I am Marian from Jordan. Where are you from? I'm from Kenya. You have liked, thank you so much. You have subscribed too, thank you so much. All the way from Israel, Jordan, thank you so much. We are very happy to have joined this particular channel. Thank you so much from Israel. So, fresh shocking revelations have emerged of an intricate scheme intended to siphon billions of taxpayers' money in another NYS scandal. So there is another 6.2 billion NYS scandal. And the people who are chanting two-term, look at what two-term is now doing to the country. Yes, of course, Israel. Of course, Israel. All the way watching from Israel. Thank you so much. Israel is represented. Thank you so much. Let me look at another newspaper and another newspaper. Let me look at the Daily Nation. Let me look at the Daily Nation. Let me look at the Daily Nation newspaper, the Daily Nation, so that you also find out what is happening across the world. Daily Nation. This is revealed 800,000 senior school learners are still at home. So the ministry should do something about it. The Ministry of Education should do something about 800,000 senior school learners who are still at home because they are expected to join the respective schools. Okay. The Daily Nation have not focused on the Uganda by-election. Let me look at the Uganda. Ruto, Oburu to form team for coalition talks. Ruto and Dr. Oburu Dinga are expected to form a coalition, and talks are ongoing. That has been covered by the Daily Nation. What is Islamic State? The group the US struck in Nigeria. Islamic State has expressed hatred for Syrian President Ahmed al-Shara, calling him Trump's boy and accusing him of treason. So that is there that we are focusing on. Let me look at the Star newspaper. Let me look at the Star newspaper. Just tell me where you are watching this particular live from. Just tell me where are you watching. Okay? So that I make quick shout outs. Quick shout outs to people. I can see Sad, I can see 2026, of course, from Jordan. I can see Fizul, I can see Tugaya, I can see Stewart. Thank you so much, all and everyone who is watching this particular live. Let me look at the Star newspaper. The Star newspaper. And remember, Museveni is leading Uganda, the polls now with 76%. The Stars focus on this. Museveni takes early lead with 3.9 million votes. The results are based on tallies from 22,758 polling stations. Museveni is again leading in Uganda. Okay. The Stars also covered this. Two ex-Somabi officials arrested over alleged 348 million procurement. Two ex-Somabi officials arrested over alleged 348 million procurement. So the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission have arrested them pending graft. I made mistakes, Gachagua to Kieni locals. So Gachagua has made that to the Kieni locals. Guys, it was a good moment to have you. Until next time, I beg to leave now. We shall talk in the evening if I get time. Yesterday there was power blackout. And I think that is why you are not live. Otherwise, have a nice day, have a nice afternoon, a nice morning for those who are in the diaspora, and maybe evening and others. Otherwise, thank you so much. Goodbye for now. Until next time. Goodbye. Bora,